Final video, clickers. Group work by Yvonne, Jina, Elizabeth, and Andrew. Hi everyone, I am Sally, your in-house trainer. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining us in our first contact with clickers. I would like you to think about the following as we explore the clicker. Define what a clicker is. How does a clicker work? Why use a clicker? What does active learning consist of? What are the benefits, drawbacks of using a clicker? What are the social, technological, and epistemological aspects of a clicker? And now for some fun! Clickers first came on the scene in the 1960s. They were first used circa 1966 in theaters called Preview House to get feedback from the audience about unreleased movies, shows, and commercials to see which ones got a greater response. In the late 1960s, William Simmons saw how unproductive meetings were and felt that something needed to be done. He created the consensor. It had 3 lights similar to a traffic signal. Since then, clickers have evolved into what they are today. Today, clickers are wireless handheld devices, which are similar to TV remote controls. Although one early example of a clicker had a single response button, modern clickers have a 10-digit numeric keypad and often some accessory buttons, including a power switch, a send button, or a function key that permits text entry. Now, clickers are also known by the following names: Student Response Systems, SRS, Audience Response Systems, ARS, Personal Response Systems, PRS, and Classroom Response Systems, CRS. So remember, it looks like a TV remote control. We are all familiar with those, aren't we? Oh, sorry, ladies. That is those who get to see it once in a while. While features may vary from system to system, each system is basically composed of 3 main parts: the receiver, which attaches to the instructor's computers, the clickers, and the accompanying software program, which is loaded on the instructor's computer. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Let me show you how easy it really is. But first, technology-assisted formative assessment has shown great effectiveness in increasing student understanding. Formative assessment has been effective at helping the lower-performing students make progress in high-stakes testing assessments. They can also be used in a free response format to engage students and gather opinions with respect to being right or wrong. Another thing the clicker can do is that it turns on constructing questions that are in higher order thinking categories of Bloom's taxonomy, increase student understanding, and promote critical thinking. It follows that education needs to be a bit more like entertainment or edutainment. Students become bored in the traditional lecture format. There is a generational gap in communication. That is, the teacher has a tougher time reaching the students because the student's attention span is short and not well suited to sitting for almost 2 hours or even more in a class period. Today's electronic content space occupies a place where content messages are many and the attention span is even shorter than from previous generations. Peer instruction enhances a student's ability to communicate the reasoning behind a correct answer. This better prepares the student because the emphasis in the concept test format requires the student to speak up and to justify their reasoning. This ability to interact and effectively engage others at the workplace is a skill that is being practiced when clickers are used in the context of peer instruction. Clickers are most effective when integrated with a number of student-centered teaching methodologies. Clickers are used to promote gains and metacognitive support mechanisms for the student. The teacher must download the software onto his or her computer. Then the teacher must become familiar with inputting the information into the clicker software. And then the teacher must be able to run a test to ensure it is working correctly. Ensure all clickers are returned at the end of the presentation. Eject the receiver from the PC and return it to its protective pouch. Reset slides for the next presentation by clicking the reset button. And don't forget to save the data from your session. Return all equipment to the library. How easy is that? Well, like I mentioned before, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Let's take a look. Clicker technology allows instructors to display multiple choice questions on the screen. Students can instantly respond by selecting from a list of letters or numbers on their wireless keypads. Instructors display results in real time and record responses. See what I mean? Easy, eh? Why use a clicker? Well, there are 3 reasons why. It is a free software. It's easy to install. The toolbar sits on top of any presentation. It easily combines with Learning Management Systems, LMS, and it's fully compatible with Mac and PC. The receiver doesn't conflict with other signals in nearby classes or with Wi-Fi. It immediately records, stores, and ranks answers. There is also a web-based solution that works together with the remotes. It was put together by educators. There are extensive resources that are composed of case studies and scholarly articles. Free webinars, world-class support, as well as a user community are available. Active learning allows students to do some critical thinking, engage in activities with classmates, and then are given the opportunity to provide feedback. Based on research, it is obvious that active learning is welcome in higher education, but research has focused on their effective benefits, which we mentioned in the definition: engagement, critical thinking, interest, and heightened discussion and interactivity. Faculty have the responsibility to ensure that students have a comfortable environment so that they can participate. They must encourage student interaction and must determine if students are understanding the material. Teachers can also accurately track student participation and attendance. The clickers give students a sense of comfort when answering questions. Responses are anonymous, and they feel comfortable when collaborating with other students in the classroom in order to provide feedback or comment on the information they learned. Students are also able to compare their level of understanding with fellow classmates in a pleasurable and interactive way. When using clickers in the classroom, the benefits provide greater student engagement, student participation increases, they interact willingly, and students have longer discussions in the classroom with their peers. Let's take a look at the relationship between students and teachers with regards to Jo Nanson's model, learning from computers, learning about computers, and learning with computers. Engaging students in active learning is a more effective teaching strategy than traditional teacher-centered pedagogical styles. Students are cognitively engaged. They select, organize, and integrate new information compared to the traditional ways of just listening to a teacher's version. These are results taken from EDUCAUSE, the Center for Applied Research. This poll is based on faculty opinions about engagement, participation, interaction, and discussion. And we're going to take a look at the agree and strongly agree. Engagement, 94%. Clickers offer quick and valuable feedback to learners and the instructor about the comprehension level of the topic being discussed. Participation, 87%. Since the answers are posted anonymously, learners feel more comfortable to respond and encourages them to participate. Interaction, 68%. Clickers are easy to use, and it is a fun way to add interaction to the class. Discussion, 82%. Once the results are posted, Students can see the variety of responses, which will encourage discussions among groups. I have mentioned the benefits of clickers. Now I will enlighten you with the drawbacks, and yes, there are some. Using clickers does not allow students to ask clarification questions anonymously the same way they would when they answer multiple choice questions. There may be some technical and usability issues. Well, we could always run into issues when using technology. Although the use of clickers fosters engagement, collaboration, and peer instruction, they can be costly. Costs range from $20 to $60 in the United States per device each semester, and students may have to pay activation fees, the preparation time, and the portability. Despite the limitations listed, we feel the advantages of using clickers outweigh the disadvantages. When using clickers, students actively create conceptual understanding and application or scaffolding, as well as recognition of the social aspects of learning by having discussion and interaction with classmates. Here are some great solutions in order for everyone to have an enjoyable experience with clickers. Have an effective pedagogical plan. Find support and take advantage of training opportunities. Test the technology. Arrive early and be prepared in order to avoid technical and usability issues. Apply for funding so that students don't have to cover the costs. Make sure you can store and lock up the clickers in the classroom. Avoid having to carry them around with you. So, the point is, there are 3 words to remember about clickers: simple, reliable, and pedagogical. The clicker benefits both the educators and the students. Now that my presentation is over, I would like to open up the floor for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it takes, so that we as a group can discuss the following questions. Can you explain why using clickers in the classroom falls under Jo Nanson's model? Can you provide evidence that clickers have a social, technological, and epistemological aspect? Can you provide reasons why the clicker, technological device, would be used as a cognitive tool? And could this technological device or clicker be used for other activities outside the classroom? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to discuss this further with you.